How's it going, guys?
Hey, here we
Hey,
are.
Here we are. Welcome to my 100th episode birthday, I guess, special. You could call it 100 episodes. And of course, it's with Chicago's very own Embryonic Autopsy.
Happy
Thank you
one.
guys for being here today.
Absolutely. Happy 100th episode. That's a great milestone.
It is. It actually should be a lot more, but there's a lot of people, a lot of things happen in between with the scene. You know, sometimes shit comes up. I get sick. Sarah gets sick. Bands get sick. So we have to reschedule. So it's with you guys. And I couldn't be happier with that. It's one of our own. So that's awesome.
Oh, we're
Would you
honored.
like to-
We're honored.
Huh?
Thank you.
Yeah. Would you like to introduce yourselves, who you are, what you're about, what you play or sing, and who we're missing?
Hey, this is Tim King. I'm the vocalist for Embryonic Autopsy.
and I'm Marco. I'm the drummer for Embryonic Autopsy.
And we are missing Scott Roberts, the guitar player. He actually techs for the band Saliva, so he's out on the road with them and on a plane right now. And our bass player Kenzie had prior engagements, which she couldn't get out. Both of them said that they wish they could be here and to send some metal love or sending some back to you. But yeah, you got the two really good-looking guys of the band, so you're lucky there.
And no, I just snorted. And no offense to who couldn't make it. You guys are hot too. You guys look good too. But yep, we got you. We got you. And that's all. Well, I wouldn't say that's all that matters, but I'm good. I'm good with that. So guys, what have you been up to? You guys just got back, I know, not too long ago from a little weekend mini tour.
Yeah, we've got so much going on. The new album, Origins of the Deformed, just came out last Friday, and that was exciting. You know, it's always fun to put out a second record. You know, you put out your first, and you don't know really what to expect and all, and you kind of build your fan base. And it's been really exciting to put out our second one, and it's been super well received. We can't believe how many fans are checking it out. And we just did a burger and listening party over at Kuma's Corner. They devised an embryonic autopsy burger last year or 2 years ago when we put out the first record, and they brought it back for this weekend. We did a listening party, and that was really cool. And we did a little weekend run here in the Midwest. We've got a really huge festival coming up in Germany. We're doing the Wacken Open Air Festival,
Right.
August 2nd, which is going to be a dream come true, you know, for the band. You know, having never played Europe before, and then our first time over there, we're going to be playing in front of, 50,000 people. And then there's a really, really big tour that we're going out on January and February, which it's not been announced yet, but it's with two legendary death metal bands and us opening. So there's going to be an announcement probably in the next couple of weeks coming on that. I wish we could, I wish for your 100th episode, we could, debut it and announce it, special on the air here, but they're not quite ready with the tour poster artwork and ready to announce yet. So we will be announcing that in the coming weeks. So there's a lot of excitement going on in Embryonic Camp over here.
Well, you gave us a mini exclusive on that, so we know to keep our eyes peeled for that.
Absolutely. You're the only one that knows about it so far.
Sweet.
I wish I could tell you what bands it's with, but I'm at the mercy of having my lips zipped by our booking agent till then.
That's gotta be hard, because I know it's like, man, I can keep a whole shit ton of secrets, but man, is it hard to keep my mouth shut.
Same here, especially when it's something,
So now, yeah, you guys, I know I did see, and I also put up a flyer. You guys were at Kuma's Corner in Schaumburg, and your burger looked absolutely delicious, and I wanted to make it, and I just couldn't make it. I was like, son of a bitch, I don't know how long you guys are gonna be there, and I couldn't make it. And so you guys had a burger created.
We did.
In your honor. What is on that burger?
Marco, you're the food specialist. What exactly was on the burger again?
To be honest, I can't even remember. I just saw that it was so delicious. I just scarfed it down without even looking what was in it.
If I'm correct, there was it's a pretzel bun. It was a burger. It had tortilla strips, a fried.
There was an egg in it. Yeah, fried egg.
And I guess the secret was the General Tao sauce or Shao sauce, however the hell you say it. General Tao. Am I saying that right? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That was the secret sauce, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But,
so that was only out for a weekend?
Yeah, well, it was out we got the burger of the month a couple of years back. And Nick over at Kuma's Corner, he's an amazing guy, great person, great friend. And that's how we became friends. Basically, he asked us if we wanted to do a burger for Kuma's on the first record. And then he invited us to come back and do a listening party there and bring the burger back for the weekend for the new album. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
So it's come and gone once again, but it maybe on the third record we'll do it again. I don't know.
So now was this the same burger as the first album, or did they change it up?
No, they kept the same one.
Yeah.
In fact, the Kuma's Corner in Schaumburg is pretty much right down the street from where I live. So I go there quite often. And, some of the servers there were telling me how well the burger did over there and how they wanted it to bring it back and, have it as a part of the menu and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool to hear that. I mean, naturally not because of Embryonic Autopsy, but because Kuma's made a real tasty burger. So.
Dude, their burgers are bomb. They really are. They're absolutely delicious. I've never been to the Chicago location, the original. I have not been there yet. Everyone keeps telling me I need to get my ass there. It's
definitely cool. When we rehearse before tours and stuff like that, we get a rehearsal space right by the OG location. Mm-hmm. So we always go in there and it's really cool. I mean, the crazy thing is to see families there, little kids and stuff. It's like they're cranking, Behemoth and Dark Throne and Cannibal Corpse and stuff like that. And these kids are just sitting there dancing around and stuff. But it's a testament to how good their food is. It's like people that wouldn't even be able to stomach death metal for 3 seconds are in there, chomping away at the burgers and fries.
Yeah, I've seen some like I've seen old grannies and grandpas walking in there with no grandkids. No, but it's like you would not expect to see 80-year-olds walking into a place like that with a metal. But you know what? Maybe they just turn their hearing aids down. I don't know. Yeah. But it's cool because it's like it is a family oriented restaurant. So it's really cool that it can grab that attention no matter who it is and how old you are.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a fun place.
So now this was your second album, and you guys actually just released it last weekend too.
Yeah, last Friday.
That was the same weekend as Kuma's Corner. And I have like all my old school shit here. I'm all written down. The Origins of the Deformed. Now, okay, I have a very, I wouldn't say creative. Maybe it is creative, but I kind of fucked up imagination. And I always twist anything that's like, I see names and I just start twisting shit in my head. Origins of the Deformed. What is the story behind that name?
Well, when we formed the band, I had always wanted to call a song titled Embryonic Autopsy. And I was in a death metal band way back in the early 90s when I was a teenager called Oppressor, which we did really well, put out 3 records, toured all over the place. And then me and 2 of the other guys formed the band Soil, and it just kind of took off and exploded, and we got a major label deal, and we're still doing Soil 27 years later, and it's my bread and butter and stuff. But I've always loved death metal and always wanted to kind of get back into it. So Scott had asked me if I wanted to sing on some stuff that he had been working on. And he played me, some riffs and things like that. And I was like, wow, this is some awesome stuff. Let me see if I can dust the old pipes off, and just started nailing it again. I couldn't believe, I still had it in me, and even better than before because, as you get older and stuff, you kind of learn different inflections and things you can do with your voice. So me and Scott, did that, and we were like, well, what should we call this thing? And how far should we take it, and what should we do? And so I'm like, how about Embryonic Autopsy? And we Googled it, and literally there was no bands or songs or anything named that. I'm like, in this day and age, for you to Google something and not see anything pull up is like a rarity. So so we're like, okay, let's name the band that. And Scott and I are really both into like the notion of like aliens that came and visited, like the Aztecs and the Incans and the Mayans and the Egyptians and stuff like that. And, kind of like how the pyramids were built and how those technologies and stuff were so advanced for the time and stuff that they can't even figure out nowadays. Me and him love watching programs on like the History Channel and Discovery Channel about the possibility of aliens coming and interacting and showing the technology and stuff and then leaving, and kind of how after, you know, they were given the technology, the cultures kind of turned against each other, just crumbled because they didn't know what to do with it, and yada yada. So we combined that with the you know, conspiracy of Roswell and the crash landing and alien human hybrids and kind of like the X-Files type stuff. And we've always been kind of morbidly curious about things like that. So we decided to centralize it all around like alien human hybrids being designed and hidden, and, you know, aliens having visited the planet before and given us some technology that we're using and abusing these days. And since the band's called Embryonic Autopsy, we decided to start it off with the, you know, the embryo and how these, you know, genetic combined babies and things are coming out, but have gone horribly wrong. So like we got a little Cannibal Corpse on it and a little gore metal, and, you know, wanted to make sort of a horror movie type theme on top of, you know, just kind of the concept of the whole alien human hybrid type thing. So, you know, you come up with titles of Cannibalized by Octuplets or Self-Inflicted C-Section, and I just wanted to get as gory and gruesome and gross as I possibly could on it. It's like,
I loved it. It was great. I'm like, when your album came out, I'm like, these motherfuckers. My mind is flying, and I want to talk about a couple of them. You know, I just, you know, I'm gonna try to squeeze in as much as I can in my time.
Absolutely, yeah. So we just kind of want to put a horror movie to a soundtrack to a horror movie, and, you know, it's all tongue in cheek, and there's you know, diving into the kind of, you know, the conspiracy theories was just kind of an extra little added bonus. It's like, you know, when I sang and played bass for Oppressor back in the day, and it's like I was just on this crusade to go out and save the world. All I'd sing about was the downfall of humanity and, you know, cleaning up the environment and pollution. And, you know, I was just trying to, you know, I was on this quest as, you know, a 17, 18-year-old kid trying to, you know, save the planet and all that. And now as an old crotchety, grouchy old man, I'm kind of like, well, I did all that, been there, done that, you know, spread that message. Now let's just kind of make it a little tongue in cheek, have some fun with it. And that's what we really did. Is, you know, there's not really much to think about. It's more like, how gross can you get? It's more like a Clive Barker or a, you know, a Wes Craven type thing set to a music soundtrack.
So then, so you guys came up with the idea for Embryonic Autopsy, and Marco, you came in. How did that go?
Pretty much just kind of fit in perfectly, you know. Originally, I was, I believe I was just kind of hired on just for like whatever upcoming shows, and then, well, now they like me, so so now I'm sticking around for however long.
Now they're stuck with you, right?
We
No, they're stuck with me.
They're going to share the probe.
Since me and Scott, you know, it was originally just a project of me and Scott's. We didn't have a full band together. We actually, we needed to put a full band together. So, you know, we wanted to go really fast, really extreme with this. And Marco, I call him my rubber man. I mean, the kid is just insane. I've never seen anybody play that fast. You know, I mean, he gives Flo from Cryptopsy a run for his money as far as, you know, speed and agility and stuff. So yeah. Marco just came right in, and man, he just blasted his ass off, played like a maniac. He's one of the nicest guys you'd ever meet. Does have a fixation and fetish with Applebee's though.
That was a one-time thing.
Applebee's. And then, you know, and then we were looking for a bass player, and again, you know, Scott and I were kind of like, you know what, instead of getting some other ugly dude along to play bass or whatever, you know, why don't we take a page out of the Bolt Thrower book and get a female bass player like they had with Joe Bench from Bolt Thrower.
Right.
And Scott, you know, went out and he started looking for Chicago area bass players, and he found Kenzie. And the funny thing is Kenzie actually thought that he was completely like full of shit and trying to like catfish or hit on her or something. until we actually practice
That is
together.
too funny. Well, you know what? You can't really blame her with the way shit is today, you know?
Oh,
So
exactly.
you never know who's real. You mean you can have any kind of look you want and say you're anyone. If you really don't know your people, if you really don't know your musicians, I mean, you can know every band that's out there. Doesn't mean you're going to know everyone that's in it,
Oh,
you know? Or, you know, or if you're really young, you don't know what bands have been around for 30, 40 years, you know? And it's, you know, it's because she could have been like, who's this motherfucker? What does he want? Bullshit.
Oh, she was.
You know?
And it was like, you know, Marco was just like, yeah, I'm in, let's go, let's jam. I love this stuff. And, you know, he was in right away. Kenzie is just like, okay, what's the deal here? Because, you know, it's like, okay, well, we've been around the block a few times. This is what we've done before this band. We actually had we got a record deal with this band and a publishing deal and a merch deal all off the bat, and got some of my old friends, James Murphy and Terrence Hobbs and Doc Coyle to, you know, commit to doing solos on the first record and stuff. And, and she's kind of like, yeah, this sounds a little too good to be true. I think these guys are full of shit, but it, you know, turned out to be true. And, you know, we did the deal with Massacre Records, and we got, you know, some friends that play on it. And the great thing is we have a great chemistry with this band. You know, I say that me and Scott started it, but it's still the four of us, you know, as equal members, and we're all a part of this. And it's so great because the personalities fit so well. It's like, you know, Marco's the super talented guy that, you know, is very even keel. I've never even seen him get frustrated, let alone lose his temper. And, you know, is the guy that's like, come on, I'll drive, I'll get us to where we're going, you know, very meticulous with what he does. You know, me and Scott are the old jaded, you know, goofy guys that with the loud mouths and never shut up and are always doing stupid things. And then Kenzie's like the house mom, which is constantly
the mom of the band. Yeah.
Yelling at Marco to be on time for stuff, or grabbing me and Scott by the ears and going, okay, you two, that's enough. Shut up. You know, get in the RV, get in the hotel, shut your mouths. You guys are a bunch of idiots, blah, blah, blah. So the dynamic works really fantastically, and we all have so much fun. I mean, when I come back from, you know, a tour or a weekend of doing dates with this band, it's like my ribs hurt because we were laughing so hard the whole time. You know, it's just really fun to do something to where you don't have to take it too seriously, you know?
Right. And that's good. That's good. You know, I mean, when everyone gets along and you're not forced to just be together, you know, and hit the road like so many bands have to deal with, man, it's so much more like smooth sailing. You don't got to deal with extra bullshit. You know, I feel bad for so many bands, yeah. You know, when they're just fighting just to get through tour, and then none of them are getting along, or there's one member they're not getting along with, and all hell's breaking loose. You know.
Yeah, and usually that happens with bands that have been around a long time, and they've quote unquote made it. So it's their livelihood. You know, it's how they pay their bills, and it's how they put food on the table. So they might not necessarily like doing it anymore or being around those people, but they have to in order to keep a living up. And I always said, you know, as far as music goes, I would never do anything like that, you know. And even with Soil, who's been together 27 years this year, I mean, we still get along great, and we still have fun and laugh on the road and have a great time. It's not like we get up there and be like, oh, I got to get on stage with you, or oh, it's you again, or stuff. I mean, you know, we bicker just like any band ever would around that long. But, you know, we all still get together and we do it because we love doing it, which is, like you said, very rare. And it's just something that, you know, I never consider anything in music or being in a band work. I always hate it when musicians are like, oh, I got to work, or, you know, oh man, we got to go work. We got to go, you know, do this. It's being a musician is not having a job. It's, you know, it's the Peter Pan syndrome. You get paid that like a teenage jackass for half your life, you know? So. Right.
It's a passion. It becomes a way of life.
Yeah.
Well, it's like second nature at that point. It's not a job anymore.
Yeah.
You eat, breathe, and shit death. I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, you know what? I want to talk about the actual album cover. Now, so like, all right, so you got like an alienistic dude that looks like he's in a giant spoon or a giant bowl, and the baby he's holding. Tell me might be a coincidence. I don't know if I'm the only one that's said this, but remember the movie Goonies?
Oh yeah.
Sloth.
That looks like a baby sloth.
We said the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Like immediately, I'm looking at this baby thinking, "Hey, you guys," but I'm trying to like whine in my head like a baby when I'm doing it.
Oh, totally. That's what I love about the cover. I mean, it's like, again, with the second record, visually and lyrically and vocally and stuff, personally, I wanted to go sicker, more grotesque, more everything. And, as a band, musically, we wanted to go heavier, faster, the whole 9 yards. And in extreme music, that's what you want to do. And I had this artist that I had been working with, I gave him a ton of ideas, and there were some other ideas, but that one, with the baby that looked all messed up in the half a hand.
It was like,
Yeah, and all that. It's so funny because I love The Goonies. It's one of my favorite childhood movies, and it totally looks like a baby. Like I should have called it Origins of Sloth.
Dude, that would have been great. Like literally, that was my first fucking thought. I'm like, dude, it looks like Sloth.
and got Chunk, on in the album credits or something,
Right? He's a lawyer now. He's been a lawyer for like fucking 20 years.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Yeah, right? Who would have thought? Dude, yeah, that album cover is great. I'm just gonna say I had to bring that up, and I was like, dude, it's Sloth, it's baby Sloth. So I'm glad I'm not the only one who's thought about that. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna see. We jumped over a lot of shit. So the name, I mean, I absolutely love your name. Like I was right here. It's beautiful. It's demonic. It's delightfully messy. Is that a thing? Delightfully messy.
I like that.
Something for the kids,
Yeah. But it's when you think of when I think of the name Embryonic Autopsy, it makes me think of science class. Okay, in a health class, and I hated those damn classes. Well, health, I didn't mind anatomy. I didn't mind learning about the human anatomy. That was one class I never ditched or failed, or any part of the chapters I failed. But science class always freaked me out because my teacher, I was traumatized in 8th grade. I don't know if you're from, if you guys have been here your whole life. I grew up in Bloomingdale, Illinois. All right. Yeah, when I was in middle school, my science teacher, when we were dissecting frogs, she would take the stomach, because it was 2 stomachs, and she put one on each eye. Then she pulled out the intestines and make it a mouth on her face, and I would just be like,
"Oh my gosh,
you kiss your husband with that mouth?"
Was it Hannibal Lecter's wife, or what's going on?
It was, like I said, I went to school in Bloomingdale, and I was like, this teacher fucked me up in science, man. I was just like, man, I thought I was fucked in the head.
That would fuck anybody up. It's a good thing she wasn't wearing cadaver skin or something,
She was a weird older lady. She was like in her mid-60s. That's all I remember. I mean, like literally, she would pull the intestines out of this fucking frog and go put it on her mouth and hold it with her lips while the pieces of stomach are on her eyes, and she'd be like this, and you'd see little pieces flapping. I'm like,
I'm a hypochondriac. I would have been thinking about what disease.
I mean, once the frog's dead, I mean, is there any diseases that you can catch at that point?
I don't know. I mean, dripping formaldehyde in your eyelids probably is.
That's just weird. I don't know why, but it just made me think of my 8th grade fucking science teacher, and I was the bitch traumatized, man. I never wanted to dissect anything after that.
I think you just gave me an idea for a new Embryonic song.
There you go. Glad I can help. So let's see. Yeah, I brought that up too. Yeah, I'm gonna skip past half this shit. So between your first album to this album, what did you want to do different?
Like I was saying, we learned a lot off the first record, and you always do as a band. I've been pretty lucky to be in quite a few successful bands over my career, so I've been able to make multiple albums with those bands, and what I always learned from the first record is, you're just throwing yourself out there. You're seeing if it sticks, seeing what people think. And, you take the feedback that you get off that and how people react and what happens off of that. And that always gives you your ideas for, your follow-up record.
Right.
People talk about, the sophomore slump, people make that first record and then they have to rush and do a second one. And what do we do? And, is it going to be as good? But I always look at a second record as a chance to look at what you did right and what you did wrong on the first, right. Correct it, or not necessarily correct it. That's a bad explanation. But do something different. Find out what worked on this first record and continue on to elaborate on that. So, people really seem to enjoy that alien human hybrid thing that we dove into, and they worked for the themes and stuff we were doing. So, I lyrically, I dove more into that. And I wanted to be grosser, wanted to be sicker, wanted to just take everything up 10 notches, both lyrically and vocally, and use even deeper vocals and more screams on this record than I did on the first. And then musically, the rest of the band really wanted to push the envelope and, push how fast they could play and how heavy we could make things, and just all around just make things, musically more intense. Just, I guess the whole goal with this new record was to be more shocking and more intense than the first record, and just outdo it. And, I think we accomplished it. The rest of the band thinks we did. I hope, the fans think so too. So.
Well, from a fan's perspective, it definitely has stepped up a few notches. It's definitely gotten harder, heavier, and darker.
Oh, thank you.
And sent my mind a completely different direction. But it's badass. And now, do you write the lyrics, or does everybody participate in that?
I handle all the lyrics and the vocal ideas, and the rest of the band handles all the music. Mm-hmm. It always works out better that way, in my opinion, when you just have somebody who just is a sole vocalist. Let the band feel comfortable with the music and write what they feel and everything, and then have me come in with the ideas and things like that, and move stuff around and put it into the vocal parts and patterns and stuff.
Right. So what are your triggers for writing your music?
For me, I mean, I just, wait until I hear the music that the rest of the band delivers. Mm. And that kind of, sets me off and, oh, okay, well, here's an idea for this and that. And, along the way too, when we're set in album writing mode, I have a notebook and I'll write down ideas in there. Like half the time I'll wake up in the middle of the night from some weird dream I had, or, maybe I'm watching, Shudder TV or something, or see something gross happen, and I'll be like, oh man, that would be a cool idea for, this and things like that. In fact, I saw something for saw something on the Discovery Channel where something was giving birth, some animal, and it showed how it had to gnaw the baby out of there. So that's where I came up with self-inflicted C-section.
Wait, you said somebody was giving birth to an animal? Somebody or something?
Oh, something. There's some animal.
Okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, dude, give me that link. I gotta look at this shit.
It's your old science teacher. She was gnawing open an animal to pull the baby out.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, you never know what that old bat might be.
You know what? With the shit, do you remember the movie Island of Dr. Moreau? Who's to say that shit's not really going down?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe in some laboratory somewhere things like that are happening. So.
Oh, I don't doubt shit anymore with today's day.
Yeah,
the way science is and the way that's supposedly they're making clones. Everything's legit. Everything we always thought was just a storybook fucking nightmare 25 years ago was legit.
Oh yeah, they've got mice walking around with ears growing on top of their backs. You mean to tell me that there's not?
That's right.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's a sick world, and here we are. So, what about you, Marco? What are your triggers when you want to play riffs and create riffs? What gets you going? What triggers you?
Generally, I just listen to whatever is given to me on guitars. Whatever is given to me on guitars, and I just kind of. It's always usually a bit of a trial and error kind of thing. I just start playing. Oh, well, let's see how it sounds like with this. And then I'm not really happy with it. I just start figuring out other shit and just kind of take it step by step that way. A lot of re-listening, and eventually I start to be okay with the product.
That's cool. So do you ever just create shit on your own and then just hand it to Tim and say, hey, you think you could use this?
Mostly just to Scott. I haven't really handed anything to Tim, but we're going to take a different approach on this next album. Seeing as my location, I'm currently living in New Mexico. And
so you're just a hop, skip, and a jump away. It's all good.
Just down the street, And usually he was just sending me stuff, over the internet, and then I would just send him stuff back, see how he would like it, and just kind of went that way. But for the next time, we're just gonna try to hash everything out in person, hopefully in a month.
Yeah, I think what would be, when we've discussed it as a band, what would be really awesome is to do it the old school way. I mean, I know here we're talking about album number 3, and album number 2 is barely a week old at this point, but I think it's always important for a band to be in a room together, and be in that sweat box and throw riffs off of each other, open up a case of beer, order a pizza, and just discuss things and bounce ideas off of each other. So definitely with Marco talking about relocating here to Chicago and stuff, we could, having us all in a room to where we can jam out and put songs on a chalkboard and stuff like that, and work on stuff. Again, every album trying to outdo yourself and top yourself and do better and take things from, the first record or two and just accentuate on those. So, yeah, we're definitely excited. We're a band that always, is thinking and continuing to evolve and do stuff like that. So, there's a lot more octane left in the tank, so to speak, for us to keep on doing stuff.
Well, you guys, the creativity for this album is great. I can't wait to see what happens with the third. And I know we're already talking 30, just released the second. It's like, man, we're already thinking ahead. I get that. But like some of the names that, let's talk about my creativity here also. Dripping in the Vaginal Nectar. And that's the first song of the album.
Yeah, and the first.
All right, so now I want to say, out of all the names of the songs on the album, that one just kind of stood out more than anything to me, which makes sense to my knowledge. Why is the first one? I mean, is that the romantic song of the album? Because it doesn't really sound, it's like it doesn't seem twisted by the name. So I'm thinking, I'm like, maybe this is like the the romantic version.
Oh, it's a song about love and
See?
losing your virginity for the first time and cuddling and stuff like that.
Aww.
Well, actually, the reason it started off first on the record is because just the way that song comes in is just like getting hit with a sledgehammer musically. So musically,
well, that's what it feels like the first time we have sex as a female too.
Oh, there you go. I've crashed the service a few times, but the actual lyrical content of that was, again, dealing with like the alien human babies. It was about an alien being, a female giving birth to it and it coming out and then it feeding on all the liquids and juices and all that it came out of the from the afterbirth and all that. So it was,
well, that would save on some titty sucking here. Just eat your blood. Eat your afterbirth. Shut up, bitch.
Yeah, there you go. No baby formula, just sucking on that. And again, not something that we again, putting a horror type movie theme to gross people out a little bit onto that. So, that definitely worked. And, I thought that the record label was going to have a lot of problems with some of these titles, and to literally release that as a single was just hilarious to me. And to see it not get banned, not get explicit lyric content, on some of these places and or slapped with a, advisory sticker or whatever. I'm just like, oh, right. Like, how did we get away with this? And, the artwork on there, I had the same. We did 2 singles before the record came out, which was Orgies of the Inseminated and Dripping in the Vaginal Nectar. So we had the artist that did the cover art develop two pieces for that as well. So it all kind of tied in together. And when I saw that piece of artwork, it kind of looks almost like sort of like some sort of weird, I don't know, like ovary opening. And then you see this bean or whatever it is with its legs spread and this weird little stuff stretching out with it, almost dripping out of there with these 2 little things on the side. I don't know. It's kind of disturbing and gross at the same time without being.
But yet you can't look away.
Yeah. It doesn't have like actual like a vagina ripped open, dripping and obvious like that. But
man, thank God I had C-sections. I'm just saying now, not so much, I didn't eat my shit, but
there you
I
go.
can imagine being ripped open.
Chew on those fallopian tubes a little bit there.
Right. Oh wow. So yeah. Yeah. What is it? The Orgies of the Inseminated is another song that I mean, right away in my head, I'm thinking there's like, at least 6 or 7 different syringes filled with fucking sperm being injected into this broad at the same time, to be inseminated. And immediately I'm thinking that, you got 700 million sperms fighting fighting for the death. Basically, they're fighting to survive. And you got one that survives. You got one that makes it. You ever look at some of your friends 25 years later and go, "You're the strongest sperm."
Some of them, I'm like, man, the other ones must have been really weak. Because I've got some retarded friends out there. So some of the, if you can say that word in this day and age,
you know what? I don't even give a shit. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Some challenge. Yeah. I've got some definitely some challenge friends. I'm like over 700, over 700,000. You won. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, and everyone says, you're a product of your environment, or you're guilty by association. I'm like, man, I'm fucked.
Yeah, totally right.
Let's see, what's another name? I wrote down a few different names. I mean, just some of the names are just hilarious with this, with the title, with the name, or with the songs. But you did actually just release your latest video just a few days ago, or it was like literally recent.
Yep.
Recent.
Yeah, week ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Cleopatra's Spawn. Now that actually grabbed my attention, being a history buff.
Yeah, and again, to deal with the whole the aliens visiting type concept is I played upon the thing of, what if aliens visited the Egyptians and actually inseminated Cleopatra, and she gave birth to, some of these human alien hybrids, and they rose above, and that's how she gained her empire and gained, the throne and everything like that, and took charge of, basically all of Egypt. So it was kind of like making her almost a goddess of sorts, for that culture and stuff like that. And it was interesting. If you read actually into the lyrics and stuff, it's pretty cool. And it was something that I wanted to tie in the, again, how the hieroglyphics and pyramids and all that sort of stuff came out. And because if you read, do some history and stuff on there, it's like the way those things were built, people couldn't even build them like that today almost. So
there's so much controversy over it, and I hate the word controversy, because if anything's called controversy, it's considered controversial. It's because there's so much truth in it that it's beyond what we can acknowledge as humans, and a lot of people just don't want to believe it's the truth. Exactly. What they can handle. It's like, I'm very much into conspiracy theories, because a lot of that shit has been proven to be true.
Oh, absolutely.
And the idea and concept that aliens did have something to do with it makes sense, especially when you look at the hieroglyphics. Now you're going into my area. I am actually an ancient history fanatic, huge. I wanted to be an archaeologist, and I wanted to specialize in Egyptology, so I actually know a lot about it.
Oh, that's awesome. I wish Scott could have made it on here, because he's, along with me, he's like totally into that stuff too. We could talk for 3 hours about all that
easily. And so when you look at hieroglyphics, there's all kinds of shit that it shows clear as day. It's showing those spaceships. It's showing a lot of shit. And these are, buildings that, the Sphinx, that's 10,000 years old, but yet we were only here for 2,000 years.
Yeah, it's insane.
And it's like, dude, there's a lot of shit that, people need to open their eyes and stop fucking just being like, nope, and stay so narrow-minded. It's like, dude, this just might be a thing, And so, I mean, the concept of this whole album is awesome, and I love it just for that factor. It definitely draws me in on that. But we do actually have that video, and with your permission, I would love to play it for everyone to check out.
We'd love for you to play it. We're actually really proud of that video. Another Chicago native and dear friend of ours, Jason Moit, from Vision 4 Films and Moit Brother Productions. He's done all 6 videos that we've done for the band, and with this one, it's crazy, because we've done full production videos with them, and this one we literally did 2 takes of it, shot it super fast, and I think it's one of the best videos that we've done. It has this really cool kind of eerie, typo negative kind of doomy sort of feel to it, visually and stuff like that. It really turned out well. And Marco, you were even saying that it's probably your favorite video that we've done, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He did a great job on the video.
Thank you, Jason, if you're watching this.
Yes, thank you, Jason, for helping with that one. So I am definitely going to put that on. I've watched the video probably like a dozen times. I figured that's what we were going to be playing, so I was just ahead of myself. So for everyone who hasn't seen it, this is Cleopatra's Spawn, everyone's favorite horror from history. All right. So first and foremost, fucking YouTube.
Was that real time skipping like that?
Yeah.
I thought it was just me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought it
no,
was
and
just
I
me
just want
too.
I don't know if you saw my face. I was like, the fuck? I'm thinking that in my head. I grabbed my phone and I'm like, dude, that video has not been doing that this whole damn time. I've been like listening. I watched it so many times from my laptop. And then same link I've been watching it on is connected and it glitched like that. So I want to apologize. It's
The audio was there.
yeah, the audio was on point. And I was like literally looking on my phone. I'm like, okay, that's it. The video is flying through with nothing on my phone, but I don't know why it was glitching. So I want to apologize about that. So I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, no worries.
That's all right.
It
People know about it.
wouldn't be a real interview for Embryonic Autopsy unless something went wrong.
Yeah, I know. It just because it's like, I mean, it's a great fucking video, and then all of a sudden it's like glitch. Well, shit.
Well,
you know,
first of
It
all,
happens to us on stage as well. We always wind up with technical issues too. So
yeah. I mean, I'm just glad the audio was on point. Otherwise, I would have shut it down right away and be like, okay, either I find another link and you give me 2 minutes, and I'd rather not, kill too much of the interview starting to search for shit to figure out what the fuck, happened with YouTube. So I apologize about that.
no biggie. The audio is there, and hey, everybody, if you want to watch the video without the frame by frame edits, then you can just Google Embryonic Autopsy Cleopatra's Spawn. It's there for everybody to enjoy.
Right, exactly. So, but I mean, we heard it. So, I mean, the song fucking kills. I don't know how you guys sing like that, man. Just talking for an hour hurts my throat. And I still don't show up. I still don't shut up. So, no, I wanted to ask you real quick. I mean, that song obviously being about Cleopatra, and I mean, it all blends in, and whatnot. Was that just an idea of what could have happened, like in a theory that you created on your own, or was this something that I missed in history that I didn't see?
Oh, I mean, a little bit of both. I mean, like I said, watching like those ancient alien type shows and stuff that we were talking about earlier, and then
Right.
excuse me, getting over that cold that I had, and then just kind of my warped sense of imagination with that, and that song had a very like Egyptian-ish type intro, kind of like real like Eastern type of instrumentation to it when Scott sent it to me. So I just kind of based it off of that. Right.
And it was still, I mean, I want to say I know the video, so in my head I'm like, it was still a cool ass video. I mean, I love the way it was created and everything like that, and it is a badass song. Just real quick to jump to another song. At the Curse of Madame, I don't think Pele. Right, that's and also known as Tutu Pele, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you know your history. You know your history.
Now I know that. Okay, I didn't write this down. I'm trying to go based off memory. It's been a while since I've heard. I know it had something to do with the. She was the goddess or the creator of the Hawaiian Islands, and her what her innards were. It was the lava that ran through her inner, through. It's like the lava was her blood, just like the lava is the blood of the islands. And when she erupts, the way I consider it, I'm like, that bitch is ragging. She's pissed off and she's exploding and she's taking all you sons of bitches with her,
Exactly. First of all, Hawaii is my favorite place on earth. Mm-hmm. So I really love the culture of Hawaii and stuff. And the first time I ever went, they had talked about Madame Pele and the curse of Madame Pele. Yeah. And she basically considers the Hawaiian Islands her children, and everything on the islands, whether it be, rock, the animals, the people, everything, her children. So a lot of people would take, because, the Hawaiian Islands are basically built off of volcanoes, erupting, and still are active volcanoes in some respects.
Yeah, Lahaina just erupted. The volcano in Lahaina erupted, earlier this year or late last year?
Yeah, it's crazy. And so people would take the pieces of the lava rock home with them as souvenirs. Well, that's what they would call the curse of Madame Pele, is these people were having all these bad things happen to them. Like they'd have all these horrible luck and have crazy things happen to them. So every year Hawaii gets, how many thousands of pounds or tons of whatever Lava Rock shipped back with an apology letter to Madame Pele saying, "I'm so sorry I took this from the island. Please accept my apologies." And they put it back, you know, in the rubble or in the ocean or wherever they put it back. So the thing is they tell you, do not take any of the Lava Rock home because, you know, you'll be stricken with bad luck. And unless you return it to the Hawaiian Islands and to Madame Pele, you'll continue to have bad luck and things for you and your entire family. So since that was an instrumental and an outro to the record, there were no lyrics to it. I thought that entire, you know, concept and that whole story would be a cool title for it, because if people look it up, they're going to see it. If they just look at it and they're like, well, what the hell does this mean? You know? And then you actually look it up, there's a whole story behind it. So it's something that I didn't even need to write lyrics to. It was an entire story all its own. So for an instrumental outro, I thought it was kind of a cool thing to where, you know, if you wanted to dive deep into it, there's this whole rabbit hole you can go down on the Curse of Madame Pele. And that's cool. You picked up on that. That's really neat.
Yes. And once again, it's been a while since I've thought about that. I was like, I had to think about that. I'm like, dude, I know that. I'm like, it's been a while. And I'm like, that's that one bitch. You know? And I remember I remember reading the story that the lava's her blood, you know, and then when she erupts, she's pissed. And I'm like, that bitch is ragging. Stay clear. You know. But I mean, all in all, the album is a great fucking album. It's definitely come a long way. And you know, you've already dropped hints into the third album. Obviously, you always want to do bigger and better than your last. I mean, even as a promoter, I'm the same way. When I do shows and shit like that, you want to do bigger and better than the last. You know, and you know, have you already started working on your third album, or is that something that's going to be coming eventually? Okay,
no, it's just
I asked that because sometimes, you know, when you write, you know, a lot of bands, when they write songs, they'll have 30 songs that are written for the album, and then 9 or 10 of them are the only ones that make it. So you already have possible songs already booted for the next album.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, we haven't even thought about a third record outside of the fact of the way we want to record it and how we want to go about it. You know, in a setting where we're writing as a band or whatever. I mean, the new record is literally, as of today, 9 days old. So we have a long way to go before we even consider doing anything else. We got a lot of work to do on this record yet. You know, we have a lot of promotion left, you know, a lot of great interviews like yours to continue to do. And we got a really big tour coming up in January and February. We're going to Europe in August, talking about going to Europe for a proper tour sometime next year as well. So we've got a long way to go on this record. Lots of promotion, lots of shows to do before we even start thinking about anything.
Just ride that wave. I get it. Ride it out and spread that whore's legs.
Exactly. There we go.
Yeah.
We got a lot of.
I get it. So what do you got? Okay. So do you have another show? Or I'm sorry, not another show. Do you have another song you're going to be dropping? Do you have an ETA on the next release?
No, everything's out now. The record label wanted to put out, like, you know, one song.
The third song that you guys just released though from the album, right?
Well, yeah, and the whole album came out with the third song. So the record label wanted to do it to where they put, you know, one single out, second single out, and then the third single out with the entire record, which was Cleopatra.
Right.
So the entire record's out now. It's streaming. It's for sale. The vinyl is out. The CD digipacks are out. You can get it, you know, pretty much everywhere. In fact, for luck, I always buy a few copies at different places, because I always figure if I'm not willing to buy my own record, why should anybody else buy it? So I just ordered the vinyl from Best Buy. It came the other day, and ordered a couple.
Wait, you have to order from Best Buy? You think you would have full fucking access? Dago just came out. I'm sorry. You would think you have direct access. You gotta go. You gotta actually order that shit from Best Buy.
Well, the record label is generous enough to give us sample copies, but like I said, for luck and to kind of show some, you know, support and stuff to my own band is, you know, I bought a vinyl from Best Buy, I bought the digipack and CD from Amazon, ordered one from Barnes and Noble, you know, stuff like that. So just kind of give back a little bit, show, like I said, if I'm not willing to buy my own record, why should anybody else buy it? That's always been kind of my philosophy and theory on it. So got extra copies to give away to some friends.
That is totally cool. I mean, I get it. I mean, you support yourself too. You know, I mean, that's awesome to hear that. Still just blew my mind that you said that. But Also, a heads up for fans to know where you can also find that album now that it's just been released. So there's a one up on that. So there's benefits to that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's everywhere. I mean, our record label, Master Records, does a great job. They have fantastic distribution worldwide, and naturally, it's up everywhere you can get it streaming and listen to that. But the physical copies, the LP and the Digipack, are really easy to find too. You can pretty much go anywhere and get those.
Right. So that's awesome. Well, you guys, I am gonna go ahead and let you go. I know you guys got stuff you wanted to do, even though we almost closed in on it. I really appreciate you doing this. This was a lot of fun, and it's like you had a little bit of my passion and love mixed into this, interview. And I could have gone for hours with ancient history. And I love, and the whole, anal probing, even though that wasn't brought up, it just popped in my head. Sorry.
I'm telling you, you're these crazy. We're going to be writing about anal probing, your biology teacher. I think we might have the third record already in the works just from this interview.
See, I got you. You know what? I've been told by quite a few other musicians. I've been told from other musicians, some of the shit that comes out of my mouth, they're like, we need to talk because you're twisted. And I'm like,
there we go. I might be
I got you.
On the next album, I might need some consulting work from you there.
You know what? Let's meet at Kuma's Corner. Let's have a burger.
There we go.
I will happily shove your meat in my.
Oh my God, that's a good one. I'm just getting over this cold, so every time I laugh, I start coughing. So it's like
I'm helping you clear your throat. I got you.
You're gonna have me on the floor.
Oh, let me clear your throat. I got you, Tim.
That's great. Well, we really want to thank you for the interview, and it was really a lot of fun. But most importantly, your 100th episode, 100 episodes. How cool!
100th episode. Yes, I am 100 episodes years old. That's a thing now. And to let everyone know, we are somewhat celebrating. If you have not heard, Angel Deathblade, Voodoo Masochist, is also a savage lady directly herself. Angel Lanuna is throwing Purgatory 3 at Reggie's on July 6th, and it's going to be a bash. I don't even know how many bands. I forgot. I've been promoting the shit out of it, hoping to get it out there. Savage Ladies are in charge of all of the giveaways, contest giveaways, you name it, and we're also including 2 tickets to July 14th Joliet show with Be Afraid of the Dark. Burning Witches is coming to Joliet, and I'm really excited about that. It's going to be a killer show. And so that is going to be one of 2 tickets we are giving away at Purgatory 3. So if you don't know about Purgatory 3, you do now. Check it out. It's going to be at Reggie's again on July 6th. And July 5th, it's going to be the pre-party. And that's going to be at Livewire. I should know that one offhand. If the Livewire's throwing a bash on the 5th. So I'll keep your eyes peeled for that. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Tim?
Thank you.
Of course.
Tim would love to help out with some more sick twisted ideas. Taste your meat. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let this go. You guys, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday fun day.
You too. Take care. Thanks for the interview. Happy 100th. Shout out the devil.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care,
Take
guys.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.